Global Fund Round 7 is mandated to implement the civil society component of the program, basically dealing with the HIV and its programming within the care health sector. The largest population we're targeting is the youth. And we are looking at youth not by the national age benchmark of 18, but we are looking at youth from as low as 10 years of age up to about 35 years of age.
The youth are the future of society, but they're also very much its present. Youth who are healthy and happy are better equipped to contribute to their communities, despite the major shifts occurring in the world they're about to inherit.
I was once a street boy, I was a chokora, but now changed. I'm not a chokora, I'm choko. So choko means change, simple. Ati ndo job yangu ndo mi udu. Ndiyo nafanya atka job, but pia nataka kuwa kaa kio cha jamii, nataka kuwa kaa role model pia.
My dream in life is to pursue criminology because I really find it interesting when dealing with criminals. Yeah, and you get to know about psychology and why they act the way they do.
As youth, both in and out of school, our dreams may never materialize if we do not take care of ourselves. Early sexual intercourse and persistent behavioral risks may just snatch these dreams away.
Youth like us have sex out of curiosity. Like, how does it feel when one has sex and all that? Many of them wonder how one feels when him or her indulges in sex.
Kuna ile pressure like, okay, we don't want to do it, but because they are our friends, or like we want to fit in and also be known, or as in just fit in the cling, we try and follow them, and yet it was just pressure to ile kufanya, yet at the end of it, we are not going to benefit in any way.
Some of the risky behaviors nonanga sima hivi hujiingiza. I'll give you an example of some of the cultures we follow. When I got circumcised, the guy who was looking after me told me, immediately get out of this place. You need to find a girl and wipe the suit, as they call it. And maybe you find your 5 of you, na mmepatio dem moja. And hey, we have to follow their rules. They're the big brothers, sindio?
Behaviors kama stories za madrugs, unajua kwa abuse madrugs, kwa bola mtaani, kurukaruka hapa na pale. Kitu kingine ni idleness, kutojiamini, kungojea kuajiriwa na gava, vitu kama hizo.
Engaging in activities such as drug and alcohol abuse may be fun, but we need to understand that these bad habits and persistent behavioral risk expose us to many factors that interfere with our health and change our lives from what we anticipated it to be.
Shule yetu, there's that boy ni prefect shule. Alikuwa anakuja tu, yani ana like girls wa form 1. So anakam tu kwa class, achukua demo yake. Sasa ikafika point penye wakapatwa wakiwa nyuma ya classes. So dem alijaribu masomo kwa sababu sahi asomi, akaona alipata ball na akapata mtoto na akafukuzwa kwao. Sasa yeye anaishi na huyo boy, sasa boy ndiye ako form 4 lakini anaishi kwa house moja.
When I was 6 months pregnant, my dad decided that I should find them, go back to the father. But back to my mind, ulikuwa na hii hatred, a lot of hatred. This person have break your virginity, have impregnated you. At top of it, have infected with HIV. So, because I had no choice, I was pregnant, I didn't know where to go. I decided to come to Nairobi, where the father of my child was. With my HIV status, I gave birth to Norris at home. I didn't have any knowledge about HIV. I just knew HIV is about death. I got back to Norris. But when Norris was 3 days, I was chased away from that home. I found myself in Huruma. I just found myself, in that 3 days, I found myself in Huruma, right around Huruma. Not knowing, you're confused. You have a 3 days old baby. You're HIV positive. You don't know how you're going to do it. You don't have work. You don't know anyone whom you're going to turn to. I sat down at Chief's camp. And I was crying because I was hungry. When I tried to breastfeed the kid, ananyonya kwa sababu I was hungry. There's nothing coming out kwa breast. I decided I'm going to dump this baby. I'm going to dump this baby. When I was thinking to dump my baby, then come this mama, a very good Samaritan. She took my son, akaosha mtoi, all that. Alafu tukakaa. When I was in her house, I got sick with a pneumonia infection. I was diarrheaing. I was vomiting a lot. In the process of vomiting and diarrheaing, anaweza kule ni mbaya na wewe. Nini mbaya? Kaambia ni tumbo inaniuma. She decided to take me to the hospital. When I was took to the hospital, Nikambo, I was referred to Bagathi Hospital. When I referred to Bagathi Hospital, then she came to know about my status.
We all want to realize our dreams despite the dynamic trends in the world. This means we have to deal with issues that put us at risk of being infected with HIV and STIs, among other infections. These issues may include poverty, idleness, peer pressure, among many others. The question is, how do we deal with them?
I'm not condoning the romantic relationship, but rather the mutual relationship where tuna benefit as students. So that tukitoka high school, when you think of maybe having a spouse, you know that ukiwa high school, there are some things I should not do towards this lady. So tafadhali, it's not bad. And we're not actually going to get ourselves sexually active or anything because we have the information.
Mi wasioni kuwa na advantage yote kuwa na chali mtu akisoma. For me, I focus nisome nisaidia mom venye na struggle na nilipia school fees. Kama niko na siblings niweze kuwasaidia. Nitolee mamu huo mzigo.
There are youth centers, I guess, I believe in most towns. In the universities, there are also programs that can assist the youth in time management.
Okay, ningependa vijana washikane na form groups. Na it's not just groups. Groups ambazo ziko strong na wako focused. Na pia ningependa ma training zikama ambazo zinaweza pia kupatia ama youths more information na more education za kusongesha ama vijana.
It is important for us to learn about our reproductive health and the issues that pose danger to a healthy living. There are structures and models that exist in our surrounding where we can get information on reproductive health.
The peer educators are the ones who first reach out to fellow students. You realize that among young people, it's very easy to trust a fellow young person other than trust a grown-up. And so these children are trained and they are able to notice any signs of problems, trouble brewing, somebody not very much at peace with themselves. And so they reach out to these people.
From my church, we normally do reach outs to various local schools around it. We involve our church members who might be doctors and nurses to come and get in and be involved and teach them the basic needs that they need to know about their health concerns.
I personally take advantage of forums and seminars held by HIV organizations. Yeah, to access the information, and also from hospital. I do get information there.
Once we have the information, it only becomes useful to us if we understand and know where to go to seek health services, as well as who to talk to at the health facilities.
We do have a clinic around here that deals with certain issues for youths. We have counseling sessions. They think they also normally go through schools. They are still at the center. They've pitched their small stations where anybody who wants more information concerning the HIV and AIDS or the STIs, they get information from there.
The doctors I deal with are very friendly, and I can talk to them about anything. And the facilitators, according to the seminars I go to, they're also very good.
The importance of talking to a health provider or a peer educator about one's health concerns is because it opens your eye and gives you more insight on the matter at hand. This would include knowledge on HIV and STI transmission and prevention.
I wanted to be pregnant with Shanta because I was admitted to Kenyatta for almost a year, and I saw it as a torture to Norris. The second child, I never came to discuss him about my HIV status. It was hard because he really hated people living with HIV. So one day, I left my RVs on purpose because he's a learned person. I left my RVs on purpose on the table. So he was kind of reading the RVs, and already I was pregnant. And when I saw my RVs, akasema, he tested me so quickly, akaniambia, so you are positive and you have never told me. And nikamwambia, I've tried to tell you in so many ways, but you could not understand. So the only way I could think, it's this way.
I was born HIV positive. I didn't know my status, but my dad knew my mom was positive, but he kept it a secret. I was around 14 years old by that time, and that's when I came to realize that indeed I was positive.
Talking freely and sharing information is one way of preventing the spread of HIV and STIs.
Most youths are very reluctant to disclose their status, so you find them engaging in risky sexual behaviors with other partners who don't know about their status, and they still keep it to themselves. So that increases the chances of infecting others and also reinfecting themselves.
Most youth live in fear of what the society would think if they went out to get tested. Knowing your status is one step to taking control of your life.
I have friends who are HIV positive, but it took a lot of persuasion for them to go ahead and get the test. They were getting very ill, and as in, they had no other option. That's why they had to go for the test. But it wasn't really that willingly.
Tuseme tunatembea na maboi wangu hapa hivi mtaani, nione hiyo kitu ya HIV pale hivi ya kutesti kwa pale. Nitaibika kuingia pale ndani, jua sasa wataanza kunishuku. Wewe kwani ulikuwa dunini jana? Siku hizi venye nakuona, penye unaelekea. Kwanza venye unakohoa You know, people are afraid of other people's perception and opinions about their lives. So you think it's about you and the clique. But that's about you and your life na story ya health yako.
Currently, I can insist the youths, they're not taking an initiative. And what I can tell them, the youths, HIV is rare. You don't know who is having it. You can be virgin and not negotiate with a man on the first sex because you trust this man so much. The thing is that you trust the man, you don't think about any other thing. But back to her mind, you don't know about this man's status, you don't know about your status. So I usually encourage youths, even though you are a virgin and this man you trust so much, just go to the HIV test. That's when you know if this man is clean or not. Because for me, I didn't know. If I could, but what I know now, I could be knowing back. That's what I could do.
Despite the challenges that hinder us from seeking medical services, what is it that should be done to encourage fellow youth to come out and seek health services?
Nowadays, the doctors, they're so friendly. The nurses, they're so friendly to the youths and to the patient that are getting in. When you get to the clinic, you find it. Actually, I think it's every clinic that is in an MOH or whatever clinic that's around you, we have health talks.
I have many of my friends who are community health workers. They're able to reach out to people and they're able to give information to mostly people who cannot access the hospital or are shy from the hospital premises.
Another means we should use are the billboards and also things like the wristbands that we usually have. At least by using this, I've seen people react to this. Kila sana neka unameniaje, nazipataje, banka inaambianiaje. You only can get this. Go get tested and at least get to know your status.
The services we provide with this program, we don't implement directly. We work through partners. And our role is to work towards achieving 3 objectives of the program. And one of the objectives is increasing access to HCT services. Secondly, we are also working towards increasing uptake of treatment and care services. And finally, we have the third objective of building the capacity of CSOs to be better placed to provide these services.
Overall, it is important for one to take steps towards ensuring one's own physical, mental, emotional, and social health by seeking information from resource centers, health providers, or any outreaches held within the society. Supporting those who already are living with HIV to minimize stigma and spread of HIV.
We are supposed to live with them, to care for them, not to, when we see them, we run away from them, or we treat them like they are bad people, or they are a burden to the society.
We should be able to understand that one can also acquire HIV and AIDS through blood transfusion, or maybe you can use sharp objects to. So people should not judge people at we only pata AIDS, sex, definitely, or the person is immoral. We should learn to understand people.
Youth needs to change their character and their behavior and their attitudes and perceptions of HIV/AIDS using role models, using current, entertainment, sports, and other things that mean something to the youth and youth themselves.
If you know your status, you're positive, please let us hold hands and create a HIV-free generation. It is worth it. And change begins with you and me.